So, Ashe Kench'em. Gotta Kench'em all, chat. Tom Kench, I think, is probably the Swedish champion they've introduced out of the Call of the Mountain champions we've seen so far, in just that he's a really awesome card to be building around. There's a lot of different regions and cards and strategies that synergize with making him be optimal, and I would be surprised if we know strictly which of those pairings is best with him. So at the start of each round, he creates this acquired taste card that lets him swallow up enemy units, but they strike him when he swallows them. And when he captures 3+ units, he obliterates his captured enemies and releases his captured allies. And then his leveled mode's a little bit bigger and obliterates his captured enemies every time he attacks. So the thing that Kench synergizes with in this deck specifically is we've got a bunch of things that frostbite to set things power to 0. So Kench loves him some frozen treats because frozen treats don't fight back. Loves him a microwave meal. So in addition to Ashe being able to frostbite things when she attacks, we also have cards like Rhyme Tusk Shaman that frostbite something every single turn. So Kench plus Shaman is a very potent combination. Basically gives you free eats on their largest thing every single turn. We've also got things like Ice Veil Archer, Flash Freeze, as well as things like Troll Chance to interact with things our opponents have going on. So last time we played this deck, it felt very reasonable. Interested to see if it feels like it has another decent run today. Ice cream can't hurt you, I agree. Ice cream. I started putting my desk up, and the headphone cord got caught under my chair. It's awkward. Hope you enjoyed. So they are playing Maokai Nautilus. Okay. How are we closing the game out? Ashe closes the game out. She attacks with 6 power, and makes sure things largely unblockable. My software stuff that I've worked on is kind of a previous life at this point, Greco. A lot of the stuff up on my GitHub is hobbyist type projects. Been a long time since I've been super involved in stuff with that. Streaming takes a lot of time to have as a job, and then with the pandemic, basically all my extra time has evaporated. Attempting to help the kids keep up with school on top of working. So we'll hook this with the vulnerable. Pretty sure we're okay treating these two, so we'll offer that attack. MB, I'm not. And just for reference, people who are regulars just coming in and saying, hey, streamer, come back and play Magic. I'm just gonna time you out, because I don't really want to hear it.
I will unite the Freljord.
Apparently Wizards can't even implement basic lands correctly in their games, so like, you know, not a lot of incentive to engage with that. You just open on attacks here. Oh, Socio Penguin, thank you for the tip. I appreciate it. Not needy at all. Consider this a random thank you for being a good person who supports those in need with his voice and vote, and also a monetary backed preemptive vote to play Bastion more than once. Sounds good. I've heard good things about Bastion. I think we just go ahead and get Rhyme Tusk Shaman down here to start ticking up on this.
Ice runs in our veins.
Kench is a hungry boy, chat. Hungry boy. Alright, so this is going to Frostbite something again next turn. This'll Frostbite on attack. So if we play Ice Veil Archer this turn, Ashe is going to level on attacks next turn, which is great. Yes, Bastion. We actually have both of Supergiant's other 2 games in my queue right now. So I have both Bastion and you guys want to see y'all want to see a blowout? I would like to give this plus defense. I'd like to give this minus attack. Get out of here. Yeah, Transistor and Bastion are both in the game queue. We're gonna get to both of those next week, or at least one of them. They'll both be played eventually, but we'll get to at least one of them next week. Do I want to Kench, or do I want to just try and kill them? I think I want to just try and kill them, right? So we do this to wipe the power off of that. So this triggers here, this triggers here, and then they don't have blocks.
Stand together.
Oh, this went deep. Troll chant can let us get through that though, right? I guess I could also just hook it with this. Yeah, I should have just hooked it with the 1/1 challenger. Troll chant proactively there was wrong. That was wrong. I should have just hooked it with this. They're gonna have a vengeance and make me sad. This was originally a build-around submission that ended up just feeling good, so we've played it a couple of times. This was one of the 3 decks I played in the Pick Band Gauntlet last Friday, or on Monday, that we got our first Prime Glory with. I like Ashe in general. This deck's felt reasonably competitive the last 2 times we played. I played a little bit off stream as well. So it's been fun. Got good solid synergies. People in the subs Discord have talked that they've played it a bit and they've liked it, so. This is one of the half a dozen Runeterra decks you can find up on my website if you're looking for sweet decks that are a little bit off meta to play. JeffHoagland.com, click the Runeterra decks button in the navigation. Okay, so Orion Sol Trundle, almost assuredly a control deck. I'm going to mulligan these 2, looking for a 3 to fill out in the middle between them. I'm just supposed to keep Hired Gun as a second play. I love the Pick Band format, and I kind of wish we could get it as a ladder format. I feel like if I could play ladder as a Pick Band format, I would play it a lot. Ashe Kench'em is the very best deck name, like no deck name ever was. Ain't that the truth? They've just been referring to it as Pick Band Cheek. It's one of the 2 formats that's alternating with it's one of the formats that's alternating as a
Get bloody, get paid.
as their gauntlet formats. Alright, so they're at 5 mana this turn. Ooh, that's good. Alright, well, I wasn't going to play... I was going to open attacks, but Ashe means even if they trundle, it's not a big deal. Yes, yeah, the seasonal tournaments will use the pick ban format as best of 3. I believe they've said. Yeah, I agree, Socio Penguin. The pick ban format basically means even if there's a short lag time on them balance patching something, you don't feel that lag time as a player nearly as badly. Because as a player, you could be like, oh, I'm just gonna ban the thing I don't want to play against. You play the gauntlet multiple times if you get max win. You can always play the gauntlet multiple times, but you can only get the prime glory on your first chance.
Ancient things trapped in the ice.
So 11 13 is 11, 13, 14, 15, 16 on level. I could technically try and kill them next turn. This levels with 4 frostbite. We could technically harsh winds, flash freeze, and then try and kill them. Feel like that's too aggressive. Their deck has a lot of healing. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to make it rain last turn. I could see that being the case to try and roll killing this.
I've carved meat bigger than you. Next.
So we killed 2 ramp cards out of my opponent this turn. So they're only going to be able to have 7 mana next turn.
The frost reveals all to me.
So the pick ban format, I think they perfected it. So the community-based pick ban format was really awkward and kind of bad, and you couldn't overlap regions. Riot's official pick ban format, you can overlap regions, but you can't have the exact same 2 regions. So for example, you could play Freljord Targon and Freljord Bilgewater, but you can't play 2 Freljord Bilgewater decks. You also can't have repeat champions, is something that's not allowed.
Sends chills up my spine.
All the world on one
It works out that way in practice too, Taco.
Don't stand in my way. My aim is true.
Yes, accurate, Guard Gray. Actually just did. Alright, fair. We take those.
Now begins a new era of peace.
Yeah, and again, like someone asked earlier, how does this deck close out games? Ashe is how we close. This deck is constructed in a way so Babblingberg always draws us Ashe. So long as we like have Ashe, we could run them down. So having 6 copies of Ashe means we get to it super consistently. Yeah, she's really good at closing. Big agree. Hey, thanks for the 18 months, Stegall. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Darius Thresh. I wonder if there's some kind of vault deck with Darius. So, like, Darius generally implies something aggressive, but Thresh generally implies something controlling. Mulligan these two, looking for some other units to curve out with. Bad. Correct, disconnect for dreams. I agree that Berg is just an incredibly well-designed tier. Ocasio-Cortez did not have a sub button on her stream, Bill Allman. So for public figures like that, Twitch will frequently verify them so they have a check mark without giving them a sub button. Even if you're someone with a huge platform, they generally only partner you if you're consistently making content on Twitch. Because remember, if they give someone a sub button, they can prime sub to them. So if they're not someone consistently making Amazon or Twitch money, they don't want you to be able to collect prime subs.
I will unite the Freljord.
That's really good.
Continue without me.
The Undying deck is probably a bad matchup. I guess Kench can technically kill it.
Is expensively unique. Let us peruse this establishment's fare.
A true Freljordian welcome.
Did we need to frostbite that? Yeah, I'm gonna eat it with Kench. You're correct that it can't block, but Kench takes damage when he eats something.
There was hope.
Man, that's unfortunate. The opponent's archetype is very good when it draws Undying. It's just pretty mediocre when it doesn't, in my experience playing it. But yeah, they've had all their synergies come together here, and outside of Kench, we can't really interact with this. They're probably going to run us down before we can get anything going. I don't know that their deck is strictly good against ours. I think their draw was very good.
I deal in coins and carnage.
think when their deck named after a card draws the card their deck is named after, it's pretty reasonable.
Into action.
Ashe.
We'll see. Maybe Kench can drag us across the finish line here. Offering this trade might actually be wrong. Because it might be right to hold this as a way to chump block, because they're going to have a 5-5 and a 3-3 coming back here. I mean, I don't think calling their deck linear is accurate. Their deck has a ton of interaction.
There you are. Winter take you.
They didn't open out attacks here. We could just race them here potentially.
Grow up so fast. Come this way.
Do I try to make it rain to save these? I think so. I'm not sure this card's really getting that much better. Okay, it's good. It's a decent roll.
My saplings.
See if they have another glimpse here to save this or not. They do. Yeah. That being said, opponent does not have blockers next turn, right? So we've got Rhyme Fang and we've got Ashe here. Yeah, second glimpse in, 13 cards is not bad.
What's that noise?
Kench is just trying to get a meal here. He just can't get his hands on anything.
Oh, I don't require a menu.
All the world on one arrow.
I feel like Bayou Brunch would probably be too good at fast.
My orders.
Don't stand in my way.
Please, I have connections.
Third glimpse is the charm, right? Oh, Runeterra. It's just how it goes sometimes, Jeff. Poor Kench just can't catch a break. And we're done here, right? I took a draw step because we have a couple copies of Marsh Winds.
A lost battle, not a lost war.
It's okay, chat. Just shake it off, and roll along to the next one. That's why the ladder's great. You don't have to wait till the next round of the tournament. You just get to hop back in and do it again. It'll be all right, I promise. Jinx, Draven, Teemo. Gosh, I think our hand's actually pretty great, huh? Hey, Alias, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream this morning. Saw you've been dipping into some Runeterra stuff too. Hope you're enjoying it. Definitely one of my favorites right now. Yeah, Kench'em break. Really, really easy trade here on one. They got a damage. We got an Omen Hawk buff. Resource efficient exchange. Easy pass back here. Bank a couple of mana. With this spider friend, I probably make a keg here. So that way this Make It Rain can kill this. Okay. Well, that's definitely something. Alright, now I think... So taking a bit of a hit here, but the second Make It Rain is hopefully going to clear out some friends. Was hoping to dodge hitting their dome there, but... The question now is stabilizing at 11 enough to pull us through? Or are they going to be able to burn us out from here? Nah, I think the play of playing out both Make It Rains is a little bit too ambitious. If I end up overlapping on 2 of the Make It Rains in an instance like that, I just get really punished. Yeah.
I've been propagating quite the appetite. Who's ready to wreck it?
This is kind of cute.
Closer, friend.
Someone get him up!
Yeah, so we're definitely ahead right now, but we're also at 8. If they draw like a Jinx here, they'll be in a very reasonable spot. It's interesting. Make It Rain was a card that Steve Rubin had mentioned they were considering nerfing or changing in the next balance patch to adjust the Bilgewater aggro decks a little bit. And I wonder one of the changes they could possibly make to it is Make It Rain would be more interesting, I think, if it couldn't hit the opponent's Nexus. It would push it from being an aggressive card to being more of a controlling card. Misfortune Gangplank, speaking of. I guess Zane's actually good, right? She's got good low curve here. Morning, Leroy. Sure, I believe you that its original intention was to help enable plunder, but I think you could definitely make the argument that in the current format, it doesn't need, that's not a necessary aspect of it. So, like, things evolve past expectations.
Who's on top of the bounty board today? Finger on the trigger. Ha! Ooh, got some fight in ya.
So, we'll take 3 here, and then next turn, we can have this hook this. This remains vulnerable.
With luck, your bounty covers half a meal.
Yeah, there's like 100 different knobs they could tune with the card. It really depends on what they want it to do, right? I think it is a misnomer to classify the Sajani Gangplank deck as a control deck. I think at best, at best, Sajani Gangplank is a mid-range deck. I think you could definitely make the argument to classify it as an aggro deck. Yeah, I would classify it as a mid-range deck with an aggressive slant.
Looking for trouble? It found you.
I think we just play this out as something with a large booty here, right?
Everything's in place. Behind ya.
Closer, friend.
Love ya.
Let us peruse this establishment's fare.
So I think my play here is Troll Chant plus toughness minus attack. Attack like this, and then we can buy you brunch this Dorko.
War Mason, reporting for duty. The few are the many.
Or you can do that, and I won't buy you brunch anything. And I don't think I want to brunch the 1/1 at this point. I think I'm just passing back. We'll just bank some spell mana here.
Where there's a will, there's a meal.
Hoping to fade second Misfortune here, because she makes my blocks awkward with my X1s. Gangplank's not too bad, because I've got a bunch of flash freezes and stuff.
Bring me the calm of an ice-shrouded world.
This is the tough part. Like, how much reach do they have? Will they kill us before we can pivot the game?
Sends chills up my
Their deck is very, very reasonable at dealing half our health total via direct damage like that.
Winter take you. Coming in hot.
We're gonna acquired taste the one that has a play trigger as opposed to the summon trigger. Eat the bomb guy. Well, he currently has 3 attacks, so that seems like a less than ideal play.
I'll make corpses of them.
The top of the bounty board himself.
If they find a way to deal damage to my Nexus here, his attack trigger is going to be real bad. Oh, I guess I can eat him with Kench, huh?
Victory at any cost.
Break their legs.
You'll make a fine totem.
Feels like this is going to level Gangplank. Well, I guess if I could level Gangplank, that's tough.
Cowards.
Let's Omen Hawk and see what they do.
Let's
Okay, this might be a game that we can close it out before they burn us out.
Excuse my impertinence.
Ice runs in our veins.
Oh, I don't require.
Why didn't I eat the keg? Because I'd rather eat their 3-power thing. This keg got made after I attacked last turn. If anybody's asking why I didn't hook this inside of combat last turn, it was played after I attacked. I think we start here. This will level Kench. They really just hit my face with that. It's really annoying. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. So if I save this... If I save this, I can't kill them, so I don't think it's worth saving. We're dead. We're dead to decimate off the top here now.
Come along. There's room for
They played one decimate earlier, so they have two decimates in 27 cards. Do they play Pharaon? Even if they play Pharaon, that's not lethal, right? Sometimes they do play Pharaon, but Pharaon's not a lethal draw next turn, so I have Harsh Winds.
appetizers of plenty.
Yeah, I've seen it as a 102 disconnect dreams. It's uncommon, but not unheard of. All right, we were able to fade some reach there at the end. Able to sneak it out. Hey, Sutters, thank you for the 14 months. Really appreciate the continued support. Welcome back. It's lethal with decimates from Pharaon. They couldn't Pharaon and play decimate in the same turn, right? Oh, they have exactly 13, right? Yeah, you're right. They big spell mana. No, you're right. It's because they went up to 10 that turn, right? That's 8 plus 3. Or 10 plus 3 is 13. 8 plus 5 is 13. Pharaon would have been lethal exactly that turn for the first time. I think they did. I don't remember now. It's you know, that was like, that's the past. Let's look to the future. I think they did. I'm uncertain. Check the tape. Check the tape. Hey, someone in chat was just talking about Lulu Kench. It's kind of funny. We can just keep this, right? Just like 2, 3, 4, 5, right up the curve. How much do we have on Ashe Kench'em? About another hour, Rumple. This is cute with this, because the extra toughness on here technically heals this, right? That's fine though. We can hired gun this, and then if they attack, we get to eat the picks. We'll take 4, and then next turn this can hook this to trade.
Make it worth my while.
I am not certain on which Bilgewater cards they will likely adjust, but I do feel certain that Riptide Rex is not one of them. I know Riptide Rex is a card that annoys a lot of people, but I don't think that card is too powerful. An 8 mana piece of top end that needs an enabler is perfectly fine. It is a reasonable Runeterra card. The tough part about the Bilgewater, the tough part about the Bilgewater Noxious decks right now is that just there's so many efficient things in them that it doesn't really feel like there's one thing you can really change to adjust them meaningfully. It feels like they'd have to change numbers slightly on a few things.
I'm not afraid. Just a wee bit plain.
This is a good combo. Rex isn't even really a popular card anymore at this point.
Let's use all the colors.
Should have stayed home, pal.
Lulu basically healing Boxtopus and the other one that deals damage to itself as it needs interaction.
Want a taste of old Pablo, do ya?
Couldn't have summarized it better myself, child.
I would love a taste of Pablo, chat.
A true Fragorian welcome.
I think we're gonna eat Lulu first, though. That's an open 5. Will it taste purple? Asking the real questions.
Arrows at the ready.
What's their other champ? They're playing Kench as their second champ.
Appetizers are plenty.
They won't like this. Chicken's faster.
So they have to open on attack, so that way Kench can't eat Lulu to start.
Stayed home, pal.
Where are you going, Pix? What are you doing? Ooh, a flower. Nice. And beautify.
I think I could take 9 here, right?
Who's that you got
I think I gotta bump these. I think we're gonna get Rhymetusk Shaman down this turn so we can start getting a steady flow of eats for Kench. Yikes. That is an actual, factual, playful trickster. That is a piece of technology. I don't know that we beat that one. That's like really good.
Vegetables are getting cold.
Huh? Yeah, I mean, what does eating Lulu now accomplish, though, right? I think, if anything, we're supposed to eat the octopus now. Because if I eat Lulu now, they're going to just challenge Kench with the octopus and get their Lulu back right away.
Plenty of room inside.
Yeah, I mean, if they have a second challenger in it, we're just gonna die.
Slow down.
trapped in the ice.
They do run Notify. We got Notified earlier.
Faster. Off we go!
Bar the doors.
Why was Playful such a big play? Well, it gives them another attack, and it's also just like, it was a card that was really good that's also not a card that's super popular. So it's not something you really expect to be playing around.
Winter is the
We just get Rhyme Tusk down here. This gives us more defense on their turn. Do I just pass now? Like, I kind of want to eat the picks. But I also kind of like just passing to them on this board. Yeah, I think they just expected me to not give up my acquired taste, but I don't know that it's an easy pass, but I think it's a pass. Flash Freeze is an incredible draw here. And now opponents in Bilgewater, but generally speaking, their regions don't have a ton of reach.
Come on in.
Like, I don't know that they necessarily have room to, like, fit Shark in their deck. Yeah, these Rhyme Fangs could easily take over the game. Hey, Treble, thank you for the 10 months of support. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think we just play out a chump blocker, right? I guess if I play Ashe, she's a 5/3. I could just play Ashe as a 5/3. Being able to kill Lulu in combat seems valuable here.
All the world on one arrow.
They won't like this. Tremendo!
No backing down.
They could have another Playful Trickster.
Closer, friend.
The time is right. Strike now.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know that we beat that.
Faster. They won't like this.
Lead the target. Bitter cold. Continue without me. Through the ice.
Oh, I don't require a menu.
We have a decent turn here. So the second Kench means I can buy you Brunch by Omen Hawk, which spits it back out again. An ally captures another ally. So you capture you, mouse over, captor being captured. No, I need to play Rhyme Tusk Shaman this turn, chat.
Come along! There's room for everyone. You already agree.
Oh, is it better to do it on the Rhyme Tusk so that way I get 2 more stats here? Maybe? There's a lot of permutations here, chat. This is the fair warning. I'm going to give people a one-time courtesy heads up because normally I just time people out. There's a lot of permutations on this board. If you want to suggest a play I didn't make, tell me why I should make your play. There's like 800 different plays on this board, and there's good reasons to make all of them. I made the play I thought was best. If you see a different play, tell me why you think your play is better. Help everybody in chat learn why you think the other permutations are there and good. It's possible that prioritizing Rhyme Tusk Shaman there was wrong because Lulu is able to set the power of something to 5. So like that's a good example of it's wrong to go for Rhyme Tusk in that instance because of that. So that is the type of feedback I'm looking for. This play is potentially the wrong one, and this is why it's potentially the wrong run. Have a discussion. Don't just shout, "Why not, streamer? Why not?" This looks fine. Maybe this is too slow to keep in the opener. 2 picks decks in a row. All right, I'm gonna eat some picks.
Get bloody, get paid.
Hey, Chaos Orb, thanks for the half a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back.
Time to make some coin.
Om nom nom.
Pledge yourself to the shadows.
Do I want to do this turn? I could just pass and let them attack to try and eat it with the Troll Chant. That's probably the play. Because if they just pass back, I only lose 1 mana, so that's fine.
Not my first gunfight.
Am I better off Troll Chanting or Flash Freezing? I think I'm better off Troll Chanting here, right? Because this can potentially wipe more power off later. Can use this on a bigger threat down the line. Yeah, it leaves us. We have a second one, and this leaves us more options as well. This means, for example, with 6 mana here, I can play this pre-combat, and if they play a big blocker, we can Flash Freeze and then eat it with the Rhyme Fang, which is nice.
Don't stand in my way.
Well, this isn't the glade.
Ooh, that's a really good observation from Tron Dragon there. Opponent is Demacia, and if they had single combat and I Flash Freeze, they could single combat with the Shadow. Look at that. This is why it's a better play, right there. That's great. It's a great catch. Hey, Argon, thanks for shipping your Prime back this way again this month. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for spending it here. Pickle Bolas, welcome back as well. I'm glad you're enjoying the variety stuff. If you haven't watched through Senu's Sacrifice, I think that is my favorite game of all time at this point. It's really, really good. I'm just getting Rhyme Tusk down here.
Of an ice-shrouded world.
Moist, succulent Pyro. Thanks for the 25 months. Welcome back.
Someone's been practicing their Adorbis spells, just like you showed me, Lulu.
Hellblade literally hits everything I want out of a story-based games. The puzzles are interesting and innovative. They're very unique from any other game I've ever played. The combat's awesome, and the story is fully voice acted and engaging. Yeah, I published the second half from last night, this morning, Silence. It wasn't done processing when I went to bed. Yeah, there's 2 play sessions of Hades up on my segment. I'm not a huge fan of roguelite as a genre. Lukewarm take, Nemesis. The debate last night probably didn't make up or change the hearts or minds of many or any people. Anybody that's still willing to vote for Trump at this point, like, they're all in. How am I liking Hollow Knight? We literally did not finish a 3-hour session. Was not a fan of Hollow Knight. I think we start here, huh? Even if they have like another Lulu here, I've got Harsh Winds. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of games where when you lose in part of the game, it makes you, like, replay a giant chunk of the game to get back to where you were, and Hollow Knight did that pretty constantly. Like, when you died at a boss in Hollow Knight, or you died in a section, you had to, like, replay the previous 5 to 10 minutes of the game to get back to the part that was actually challenging. Well, Hollow Knight's not a roguelite, but you are right that mechanic is the reason why I'm not a huge fan of roguelites in general.
You fly on, cute little football. Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, I think my engagement with Mogwai, and Mogwai's a very smart individual, and he even mentioned this, right? Like, I think it's very easy for people that live outside the United States to, like, not realize how bad things are here just because we're a first world country, technically. Like, the fact that we don't have socialized healthcare, the fact that my kindergartner has to have mass shooter drills at his school in case someone walks into his grade school with a weapon of mass murder and opens fire. Like, these are things that just shouldn't be necessary in a developed country, but they are in the United States because the United States is so far behind progressive countries like everywhere in the EU, basically, and most other places. What's up, dude? Speaking of 5-year-olds, were you twitching? You heard me talking about you?
Yeah, I heard you talk about my school.
Schools, yep. And speaking of schools, they're closed right now because of my government, you know? Great, yep, you know. Found it. That was good, solid pound. Solid pound job. Alright, so I'm gonna mulligan Hired Gun, because they're the Mono Fiora Entreat deck. The rest of these all seem fine. Kench seems reasonable here, paired with our Frostbites. Troll Chant to impact his power and tough. Her power and toughness seems good.
Always 2 steps ahead. I deal in coins and carnage. Let them eat so. Try me.
Wow, tough is a rough one. Flash Freeze is a great draw. Means I just get to play Kench out here.
Benched.
Yes, my older son is in first grade, and last year, Silence, in kindergarten, they had an active shooter drill at his kindergarten.
I will put
Because that is the United States of America that I live in. That many people watching the stream live in. Kench is a hungry boy, chat.
Come on in.
Supper time. Do 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 do. I think I'm just banking spell mana here. Be right to play this out and just start to pressure them. Banking spell mana feels appealing with some of these things in my hand, though.
Appetizers of plenty.
That's again a phenomenal draw for this matchup.
I will unite the Freljord. I think I just pass, right? Like, there's no real reason for me to,
I do enjoy prospecting.
Hey, welcome back. And yeah, when you resub, you have to refresh the stream sometimes to send it through. It gives you a chance to attach a message with it. You are currently subscribed to the channel.
Up there in the mountains.
for the honor of House Laurent. Try
So, like, they very likely know that I have a Flash Freeze in my hand right now, right?
the time is right. Strike now.
Kench is a hungry boy.
The war is over. Now we rebuild.
Now we rebuild. Thanks, Enya. I really appreciate it. As a heads up too, if my live schedule doesn't jive with your work schedule, you can drop off Prime while I'm offline too. I appreciate the folks that take the time to do that. So if you're one of my many wonderful people watching this on YouTube in the future, you have that Amazon Prime, link it to a Twitch account, and you can easily support my content at no extra cost to yourself. Kench Soraka. Make It Rain's probably not very good here. I think I full mulligan. I think I'd rather have Ashe than Berg in this matchup because the extra 3/3 bodies just like free eats for Kench. And I think I want to mulligan the rest of these looking for a Kench of my own. I'm from the Midwest. I live smack dab in the middle of Illinois. I am like equidistant Chicago. Like I'm in the middle and Chicago is above me. Indianapolis is over here and St. Louis is down over here. Which in the before times, when I could travel places reasonably, it's a very convenient place to live. Lots of great places close by. All right, we'll take it. There is a literal cornfield behind my home. Although I guess technically it had soybeans this year, but it rotates. Sometimes it's corn, sometimes it's soybean. just to be clear, I have a very low tolerance for especially election FUD on my channel, and the idea that your vote doesn't matter is BS. The reason why Texas is a red state is because it's a non-voting state. Half the people that live in Texas don't vote. A lot of states that are considered heavily red or heavily blue states are that way because people don't vote in them for the most part. And past that, your down ticket elections really matter. Who you elect as mayor, who you elect as sheriff, these people will very likely have very direct bearings on your actual life. So yeah, the Electoral College, your vote for president in a lot of places, unless turnout's really high, might not matter. But there are so much more than that. And part of the reason why things have gotten bad in the United States is because so many people don't realize how important all those other things matter. Why do they sell decks at the moment? So the decks are basically, you just get some cosmetics wrapped up in them, and you basically get a small discount on some of the cards and the cosmetics. Yeah, my wife is a business analyst for a major insurance company in Uendo. So I grew up in the Chicagoland area in the south suburbs, and we moved to where I live now so I could go to grad school here to get my master's degree, and then Christy got a job at the insurance company, so we stayed. During the normal times, I really like the city I live in. It's like big enough that there's stuff to do when you're able to go out and do stuff, but it's not so big that there's constant traffic. I have a master's degree in mathematics. My undergrad is also in math, and I had a minor in teaching for that. I think we're just trying to eat Soraka here, huh?
It's too late now.
Get bloody, get paid.
That's pretty good. The fact that Hired Gun makes things permanently vulnerable is real good. This card will be hard to keep alive from here on out. That's okay, because we got a second one.
Sends chills up my...
Oh, I don't require a menu. Well, you've already got the pot boiling. Yes, but not for you, Army!
I think I'm holding on to my Bayou Brunch or my Acquired Taste for now. Or what am I playing this turn? Am I getting down another Rhyme Tusk or am I getting down Ashe? I kind of feel like I want to get another Rhyme Tusk shoving down. They're currently not positioned in a way to kill this turn, and I could just not do this, and I could Troll Chant to keep this alive potentially.
Your ancestors to protect.
So here's the thing though, Guard Gray, like the states that are smaller have disproportionate representation in the Senate. They don't also need disproportionate representation in the presidential vote. It's always wild to me that like Republicans talk about the tyranny of the majority when it's like you get the exact opposite with the system we have now where like there's a tyranny among the non-majority. Tyranny of the minority, I guess you would call it. They also have disproportionate representation of the House. Not quite as much, but also true. My voting alignments are very simple. I don't think anyone in my country should go bankrupt because they get sick. I think we have the most mass shootings out of any country in the developed world, and we need to address that with better gun reform. I think that my children and everybody else that lives in my country should be able to marry and love whoever they want, regardless of who that person is. Regardless of what gender they are. I think you should just let people be who they want to be. It's really not complicated.
All the world on one arrow.
Any fine tips for finding information about down-ballot candidates? Ballotpedia is a great resource. I had trouble finding information on some of my judge elections on Ballotpedia, but doing Google searches on their names specifically helped yield some more useful information. Do I want to attack with Ashe? I feel like I do, right? Getting an extra Ashe. I guess getting another Frostbite with her doesn't mean anything. Am I willing to trade Ashe for any of these? I feel like the answer is no. Where do I stand regarding gun control? I'm of the opinion that the United States has the most lax gun laws in the world, and we also have the most mass shootings in the world, and those two things are definitely related. I don't know that I'm in favor. Oh, I guess this is really bad if they have a pump spell. I don't know that I'm in favor of getting rid of all firearms, but I'm definitely of the opinion that there's 1,000 different things my country could do short of taking away firearms compared to the very little that we do now. So, an extreme is definitely an option they could go to, but there's also lots of things that could be done on the in-between that are not extremes. I think we're just passing here. I think there's a good reason to attack. What's this at now? It's at 5 out of 22.
Ice runs in our veins, sends chills up my spine.
Yeah, I think there was a comedian. If you need a gun that fires 30 bullets a minute to go hunting, maybe hunting's not your sport. You should consider fishing.
River always provides.
What? Did they just like misclick? What just happened here? All right, yeah, they must have thought they were. I think they just misclicked.
Now begins a
Hello,
new era.
Bueller? Is this thing on? Bueller? All right, we'll take that. I wouldn't mind hitting diamond at some point this season. Need some good beats to do that. Like I said, we've all been there, chat. Many of us play Runeterra while doing other things simultaneously. It's easy to be distracted. People who live in other countries can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but something else we've talked about in the past that people are always shocked happens in the United States is, in the United States, we basically have a class system that's kept pretty rigidly in place by our school system, because in the United States, all of our schools are funded by property taxes, which means that the schools in areas with more expensive houses have more funding. Which definitely should not be the case.
Eyes blazing bright as torches.
Yeah, I'm not talking about private schools. I'm talking about public schools in the United States. Public schools that are in the school districts for more expensive houses have more funding because they get property taxes are what funds the majority of schools. Obviously, that's not all of it. There's some federal funding in there, but that is a part of a system that keeps inequality existing and thriving in the United States. Am I still a teacher? I am not. So, you can see my sub count is actually currently above my head. For people that aren't familiar with how Twitch works on the back end, larger streamers like myself are I'm a mid-size streamer. Mid-size and larger streamers get about $3.50 per Twitch sub. So this is significantly more money than I would make as a teacher in the United States.
Swiftly now.
When we talked about I have a master's degree. When I was teaching college classes as an adjunct, there were some schools that I taught. I don't know what's happening here. I think we're just passing back. But it's just got a whole lot of nothing going on in their control deck. When I was teaching as an adjunct college professor, there were some places that paid me as little as $1,200 for a semester to teach a class. I think we're just, like, going super wide here and trying to kill them next turn, right?
Success gets noticed around here.
Semester being 12 weeks, generally, Silence.
Not and ready.
And then the other funny / sad part of that story is I taught math, and math teachers get paid more. I know for a fact that at teaching math at those schools that paid me $1,200 for a semester, I got paid more than people that taught English and like philosophy classes, because it was harder to get people to teach math than to teach those subjects for them. Would be very surprised if they're dead here. They have 11 mana and a bunch of cards in their hand. I do get the same rate for Twitch Prime Guard. Yep. Twitch Prime is basically like free money as a streamer. It's why Twitch is the biggest streaming platform and the best streaming platform to be on if you're going to stream as a job.
There's always food for supper.
What did the hourly wage work out to? Well, it depended, Silence. So, if I was teaching a class that I had already taught, there was less prep work because I had materials I could reference already. But if I was teaching a brand new class, it ended up working out to be even less per hour because I had to come up with the lessons that I was teaching. Seeing a little bit of the wrong half problem here. We have a lot of cards in our hand that are here to help keep us alive against aggro that just, like, don't really have text in this matchup. These will at least each deal a point of damage, potentially.
Let us peruse this establishment fair.
Does this do nothing control? Kind of. They're War Mother's control. I don't think I'm just supposed to make it rain aggressively. I think I just pass back here.
Appetizers of plenty.
That's a great draw. Wait, I let this happen because then they can't Vile Feast, right? Oh yeah, I should do this. I should do this too. Oh wait, they can still get Kench is still alive, right? Okay. I think we're supposed to try and kill them here, right? The old 6-mana deal 3. Steve Rubin's right. That card needs a nerf. Have I ever played Shadowverse? Shadowverse is not quite as bad as Force of Will, but the artwork in it is pretty cringy. It's very, kind Can I say anime titties and still have the stream be mostly PG? Yeah, I think I can. It's very anime titties. Yeah. In a way that, like, I don't think the gameplay could possibly be good enough for me to get over how cringe the artwork in it feels. Weeb bait? Yeah, that's, yeah. Fan service is the phrase that you're looking for. And that might sell the game to some of you out there, and we don't judge here, chat. Your kinks are your kinks, and more power to you so long as they don't hurt other people, but I'm just not into that. You know, teach their own. We don't judge here. I also, if I'm being honest, after playing Runeterra, it's so difficult to stomach the economy in other card games. Like, there's a small project, Mythgard, that's an indie card game that's tough, that like, I like the gameplay of it, but like, the card pack crafting system is just, it just doesn't feel good. I'm just not a fan of it.
I'll burn for what I've done.
Listen, Vito, as a red-blooded American male who's decidedly straight, there's nothing wrong with them. There's just a time and a place for things, and my card game is not the time or the place that I want to see something like that. I feel like exchanging that for Rangers Resolve there isn't too terrible of an exchange. What do you think about Gwent nudity then? I'm gonna be honest, I'm not familiar with Gwent at all. I know that it exists, I know that it is the Witcher card game, but I'm not familiar with the, with what nudity pertains to in that game. I'm not familiar.
I deal in coins and tarnish.
Hey, thank you, Allran. I'm really glad you're enjoying the Runeterra stuff. Thanks for shipping your Prime this way again. Let's get your sword to go with that shield.
Time to make some coins.
Decidedly Male is a jab at a game made by spellcasters that live on a coast. For people that aren't from that community. I think I'm holding to Make It Rain for now. We can maybe get more than just a damage on here with it. A certain group of seaside spellcasters. I think I want to just, This is tough. So, let's probably just Make It Rain, huh? If I Make It Rain plus Ashe, then I can play the Wolf next turn and get in with that and Ashe something.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Make it rain. Some things die while others feel the pain. Make it rain. Do 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 do.
Now we rebuild.
Yeah, I agree, Guardgrave. Even as someone who played some Eternal, the gameplay wasn't for me, but the economy felt fine. But yeah, it's just even games where like the gameplay is good, like Mythgard, it's just tough to. It's tough to be like, oh, I feel like I'm getting fleeced, and it is not a good feeling. So like, as long as there's an alternative that I enjoy that doesn't make me feel like I'm getting fleeced, that's definitely the one for me. It's just like, it's honestly just impressive how many of the different things Runeterra has nailed. From the economy, to the client being fast, to the graphics being good. Just like, so much of it is done right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Hey, thank you for the Prime in the Read We Trust. I appreciate the 17 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So Silence, I don't even think it's strictly about the price point of Runeterra. I think you could even make the argument that, like, the price point of Arena isn't a big deal if they just let you buy the stuff that you want. So, I'm not arguing that expensive is bad. It's nice that Runeterra is cheap, but that's not the thing I have a problem with. The thing I have a problem with is putting money into something and not knowing what I'm getting for that money. Yeah, it's not about price point, it's about how it's spent specifically. Have they revealed the KDA cards today? Oh, is that happening today? That's exciting. I like new cards. I like new cards. Yeah, exactly, Violet Journey. Exactly.
Get bloody, get paid.
We just do this so we don't burn mana this turn.
Time to make some coin.
I even think, and for reference, as someone who hasn't heard me talk about Magic Finance before, I'm actually not a fan of finance either. Like, even when you can buy singles in a games like a paper TCG, you know, companies like Wizards, the people that make those TCGs, they create artificial scarcity, right? So, like, there's no reason that, like, a fetch land to play Modern should cost $100. Like, that's just silly. I think I'm okay trading this Make It Rain here. This pops the barrier and then these trade in combat. Feels like a good tempo swing.
Son of a... All the world on one arrow.
Dangerous water.
Avarosans, stand together!
Hold still! Spilled!
Strength and grace, beauty in the play.
Alright, so I think we just Ice Veil Archer here, huh?
True Freljordian welcome.
Keep Ashe alive.
My shield is yours!
Yeah, that's exactly correct, Dotso New. Richard Garfield did not envision he was creating a secondary market
Show them the way.
when he created the game.
This is our way.
He didn't envision people playing Magic the way they played it. He didn't, and to his credit, like, he's a very smart dude. He just, like, he created a new genre of thing, basically. Babbling Berg as a 4/4 is nice.
Will no one listen?
And then Wizards created Mythicker. Yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing with that. They knew what was going on there.
I've got your back!
How the secondary market helps Wizards. Yeah, the loot boxes that they make and sell Lost Axiom are more profitable if there's chase cards in them. By having expensive cards, it basically gives Wizards of the Coast the ability to print gambling tickets. That's how it works out. I think I'm gonna play this Ice Veil Archer on their barriered thing here and get aggressive this turn. Oh, we can actually gosh, we can actually level her this turn? That seems great. Yeah, so let's Brittle Steel here, and then attack, and she levels.
Swiftly now. I'll lead us to victory.
Stuff. So this can block, but that's it. That's very good. Now this gets to eat my Ashe.
You've made your path.
So need to find one of our other 5 copies of Ashe here. 4 copies of Ashe. We have Babbling Berg in play already. Oh, that's an Ashe. Listen, chat. I was testing you. Some of you passed. Am I using this crystal arrow to fog or to try and kill them? I feel like fogging's probably not terrible. I think I like fogging, especially with the potential of a second challenger unit. We've covered an excellent range of topics in chat here today.
The wood can't fight back, but I can.
Yikes. That's really good. Are we dead, chat? I think we might be dead. This was super, super punishing for the play that we made there.
Their pride will cost them. These woods belong to us.
I demand satisfaction. Aha!
Did I play the 3-drop? I think I want to play Rhinotusk this turn. My out to win this game definitely involves freezing a bunch of stuff and then attacking past their stuff unblockable. Well, thanks for the follow, Elkarim. Welcome to Hooglandia. As you can tell, there aren't many topics we shy away from here. So I elected not to play Hired Gun last turn because I wanted to be able to play Ashe and the 6-mana double Frostbite potentially.
Faster than my arrow?
Where am I at in this season so far? We have acquired 1 Prime Glory so far. Harsh Winds, that's the one.
Frog if you work, burn if you don't!
So, Ashe is going to brittle this. Troll Chant is going to wipe the power off of this.
Look, behind you, a 3-headed monkey.
I have not, Jorg.
Show me a target.
With this play, I think I save Troll Chant to blow them out in combat here. Because I just need decent trades. So I think I just attack and don't Troll Chant now. Because if I chant here, they still have 3 blockers and we're not killing them. Probably should leave this back.
Do you want to get back to work?
I mean, we kind of have to do the math because the eye can't show this in advance and it doesn't show the Frostbite coming, kind of.
This is my opponent?
See if they have another riposte here or something. Nah, it's amazing. Runeterra already has a number of already established and very excellent content producers like Mogwai and Swim and a number of others. I am simply hoping to make Legends of Runeterra my new content home where I can make things consistently and still get to call Twitch my job. Yeah, Grappler, BBG, there's a bunch of them. LQs.
Who's on top of the bounty board today?
My strength is
I don't
yours.
expect to eclipse any of their excellent work, but I would like to be here as well. Yeah, I mean, there's personal preference. That's one of the great things about Twitch. There's lots of different people that appeal to lots of different folks depending on who you are. I think the Elmheart kills us here.
Hold nothing back.
Like I said, I decided to throw my sub count up on stream moving forward. If I can stay above 1,500 concurrent subscribers, that's enough to call this a job. So, if we manage to hit that metric and stay above it, I plan to be here long term. I think we're dead at this point. I can like flash freeze this, but I guess I have OK blocks. Let's do this, I suppose, and see what they do.
Love ya.
These woods belong to us.
Hey, Ink QB, thanks for the sub gifties. I appreciate that. Welcome to Oglandia.
Hill is yours.
She is not quite leveling yet, but I can't kill her because of tough. Thanks, Ink. It's unfortunate that this trigger is killing this. I think I'm throwing this away here to game 4. The problem is I don't really have a catch-up mechanic from this point. Babbling Bird's probably the best draw in my deck because it comes with an Ashe and gives me 2 bodies, but I think even if we find that, we're still going to be pretty far behind.
The tribes.
I guess we'd Frostbite this and force a block. They still have a scout unit though, so like this is potentially going to go off next turn. Okay, this means that we can kill their scout unit, so that way they don't get to level this next turn.
Don't stand in my way.
So like I think that could be an okay step 1. We're gonna take 6 damage when they open attacks next turn, but if we find like Babbling Berg into another good play, we could maybe stabilize. We're definitely behind, but we have top decks that can catch us back up. That is not one of them.
You've got dangerous eyes. I like that.
Not just the eyes, you know.
Fresh out of mercy. Love ya.
Never drawing a Kench in this matchup was kind of rough. I think we needed to see one of him earlier. Welcome to the party, Mr. Kench.
Diet is expensively unique.
Yeah, we needed him in like probably like the top 10 cards or so we could gobble some friends up. That's just how it be sometimes. All right, let's do one more with this one because I love this deck, and then we'll shift gears into some Fatal Core for the rest of the stream. Tomorrow morning, when I come back with some Runeterra stuff, I think we're going to do my Singleton Gauntlet for the week to try and hit that Prime Glory. I will take, if people have Singleton decks they'd like to see played on stream afterwards, I could take a couple of submissions on those to play Monday morning, but I am planning to take Sunday off from Runeterra this weekend. Tryndamere Trundle. Okay, so another control matchup. I think this is actually a full mulligan. We just want all of our aggressive cards in this matchup, just like our 2 and 3 drops. You know, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and concede and get a different last game. Because that mulligan is not gonna work out. I will say the more Runeterra I play, the more I think a sideboard format would probably be reasonable. Shen Theora. Brittle Steel's actually probably good here, huh? This whole hand's great. I think religion and politics should be kept separate in the US. Yeah, it should. And that should include churches paying taxes to be part of the United States. Should operate like every other business. Yeah, definitely watermelon. In fact, Riot has mentioned that make it rain, please. Riot has mentioned that they intend to eventually provide their tournament client to the community to be able to run community stuff with it. So I'm interested to run some Hoaglandia Runeterra tournaments when that comes to fruition next year.
Nature blesses her followers.
Not and ready.
So if they're able to deliver in-client tournaments that we can have access to run community stuff, I definitely intend to do that.
Who goes there? Protect and strike.
I think I'm brittle stealing here to keep my 3-1 alive.
There's always room for supper.
Gobble, gobble. So, unfortunately, next turn, we're going to be 1 mana short of being able to Harsh Winds and Acquired Taste, but...
Where there's a will, there's a meal.
That is a stellar draw. And by then, we'll probably have 2 more expansions. Yeah, definitely, Jace. We should have a 9th region by then. We'll get a 9th region in February. So we'll get the last Call of the Mountain card drop in December, and then February we should get the first big card drop in the next set with the 9th region.
Nowhere to go.
They're trying to debate if they want to open attacks here or not. If they don't open attacks, being able to play Ice Veil Archer will be good. But even if they do open attacks, I've got Harsh Wind, so we're kind of in an okay spot regardless. If they have like a Shen, it could be appealing for them to open though, and not open.
Twilight sees all. Winter take you. It must be done.
Who would trespass here? Honor guide me. Nature blesses her followers.
I'll protect the villages.
I think Hawk gaining 5 is probably fine.
Nature blesses her followers.
Come on in.
Kench is a hungry boy, chat. Hungry boy.
Let us peruse this establishment's fare.
I will unite the Freljord.
think I'm okay with this trade here. Because it enables Kench eating this. Like, this is technically a tempo positive trade here, too.
Nature blesses her followers. Unify the tribes.
That's pretty good, because it gives her some attack. But we're definitely still just munching here. That's brutal. I think that's fine. Like, I have, if they wanna open attacks next turn, I get to Harsh Winds these two. You wanna just eat Shen?
I'm sure there's something.
I mean, like, the one drop's gonna have a lot of power down the line. So I have not 10 total mana here. This is 8, so I have 2 extra. So we'll play Omen Hawk here. You can have it, Magic Player. Gift subs, Prime subs, Tier 1 subs, they're all exactly the same. Do I want to save my Hawk or gain 3? I think I'll save my Hawk. Their regions don't really have reach other than rallying. Yeah, sure. It stops the dragon from growing too. Is a big deal. Does the opponent's deck play back-to-back? Not usually. Riposte is usually their combat trick of choice. I think Kench's animation's a little bit too long. The actual animation is fine, but him individually chomping 3 different cards is a bit much, I think. Yeah, it should just throw them all up and chomp them at the same time. Big agree. Am I acquired tasting here? I think a lot of the animations are fine. His is just long because they're all separate.
My comestibles are getting cold.
But tall as a mountain and covered in ice.
Oh, she's ready to level.
By my honor, you must die.
That's pretty good.
I'll lead us to victory.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Now, something to note about them having Fiora in play here is Fiora in play means that they are... Fiora in play means that they're more likely to have Riposte in hand, because Riposte is her champion spell. So it's something to think about when you're considering what you should play around in situations like this. That being said, I don't know that I'm playing around Riposte. I think I'm just shipping with Ashe. Concerted Strike, sure.
Continue without me.
And then I assume we're going to see them open on attacks next turn. Opening on attacks lets them level Shen.
Appetizers of plenty.
If they don't open on attacks, I get to Crystal Arrow.
Try me.
This is not great for the home team.
I never hold back.
En garde! Our wills align. They're coming! Hide!
Putting both of these to 2 is nice with Powder Keg plus Make It Rain.
Heed my word!
I think I lead on this with a Powder Keg, so that way if they have Rally, we can Make It Rain in response. Yeah, I agree, Grumbledon. Kench feels like a really good example of great design. So, got one of the 2 things we wanted for Christmas.
We walk between realms.
Wouldn't have mattered if we hit them both. Okay, that's not terrible. That's terrible. That's it's gonna be a yikes for me.
Winter is the Freljord's true.
Okay, depending on what their leftovers are, this is big enough to not die to Fiora, and it shrinks the dragon. So like, we have a game here, as they say. Babbling Berg, the best draw in our deck right now.
I will cut you down. Try me.
My steel is yours.
Yeah, we haven't been in sub only since I stopped playing Magic OP.
Reveals all to me. Shatter them.
Precision and grace. Your move.
Yeah, getting a riposte out there is not bad.
For the fallen.
Come on, Babbling Berg. Both Flampton.
Banish the unworthy.
I think both things are true.
These woods protect their own.
Frog if you work, burn if you don't!
For the honor of House
En garde!
Strike for justice.
Is there any reason to stay at 5 as opposed to 1? I don't think so. I think I just take the hit here. Taking the hit's better if I draw Babbling Berg.
Sends chills up my spine.
Hey OP, thanks for the tier 2, the resubbing for the 2nd month. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Oh, we were dead to open because there's 0 power think and hook. I didn't think about that. It's a good catch.
get to notice around here.
I guess I technically had a card in my hand.
The frost reveals all to me.
Banish the unworthy!
Ready. Make it worth my while.
Okay, I mean, that's not Babblingberg, but it's also not bad.
Nature blesses her followers.
That's really good.
Nature blesses her followers.
All the world on one arrow.
Sends chills up my spine.
Swiftly now.
Yes, Swim and Bruised by God are probably the other streamers I watch the most of. Mogwai tends to stream at a lot of the same times that I tend to stream at. And, Grappler streams in, like, the middle of the night my time. So they're the most convenient for me to catch.
The land and give it life.
Guide our allies, my friend.
Man, these ripostes have been brutal.
The frost reveals all to me.
Rhyme Tusk, Shaman, like, almost drug us across the finish line. We just really needed to see a piece of card advantage. We did, like, another Kench. We need another Kench or a Babblingberg. We just didn't get either. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead to them using their Challenger here. So, not a win to end on, but that was a good game. That was close. I think it was slightly better beats. Slightly better beats we could have gotten through there. Pretty happy with this build overall. If I was going to change anything about this, I kind of feel like I would like there were a couple of games in there where like we needed to see more card advantage, and I don't really know what card advantage we could play in these regions. So I'm not even really sure if there's a good solution to that. Because like the kind of closest thing to card advantage we've got is like Riptide Rex, but I don't think our deck can enable the Plunder consistently enough to make that be a real card that we play. We could just play some draw twos. I don't hate that idea. Maybe that's an okay decision. You playing a guy that creates deity? We're not, but that also doesn't solve what I'm talking about. Like making a Yeti isn't card advantage. Ooh, that's the winner. That's the winner. I'm gonna cut this one of Elixir Fire and I'm gonna put a Howling Abyss in. I want like a big bomb piece of card advantage. And this is, I gotta remember that this is one that's tucked away in my mind as something we can play. Yeah, this one's been sweet. I think that's better. It's definitely the sweetest one to play, and it fills the role that I'm looking for. I just want like one card that generates card advantage for me consistently. Have we had a Howling Abyss builder yet? We've not, Dr. Mr. Punny. We've played it as a fun of in a couple of decks, but we've not played a deck with it as like the primary goal. Resource generation and card advantage. So card advantage means generating extra cards, basically. So like this, for example, draws an extra card every single turn. Salvage is one card that draws 2 cards. Babblingberg is a threat that comes into play and then draws you another card, so it's kind of like card neutral. So things that generate extra cards for them generate card advantage. Howling Abyss are the best flat decks, yep. Alright, at any rate, that's going to be it for Runeterra stuff for today, but don't go anywhere just yet. We're going to wrap up today playing some more Fatal Court, which is an indie TCG that we've played a little bit of earlier this week and late last week. If you haven't checked it out before, I'd love it if you hang out and check out some of that.